So hello and welcome back. If you were with us earlier, hello and welcome. If you're just joining us here on the MyWhoosh Championship Stage 2, my name's Matt Payne. I'm here with Emma Martin to bring you all of the race action that's going to unfold across what is a long but relatively flat stage.
It is indeed, and the course is cracking today. The men and the women, for the only time on the 8-day championships, are in Arabia together on the same course. So we've already seen the women race a 64.8 kilometre course. The men are about to face 409 metres of climbing, and you can see it there in front of you. It is a cracking course. That's the profile. And as they come out of the pen, very, very quickly, they go through the Future Museum sprint checkpoint. There are 4 sprint checkpoints along the way. Intermediate along the way are the Liwa Desert climb checkpoints, the 2 climbing sections. So 2 sprints and a climb, 2 sprints and a climb. The riders targeting the sprint competition have got to get over that first climb with the leading group because it is first across the line in that competition. And it was really interesting to see how it played out in the women's race. It's going to be really interesting to see how it plays out in the men's. Yesterday, well, Stage 1 did not disappoint. It was so close in all of the 6 categories. I mean, it was sprint after sprint after sprint.
It was absolutely fantastic to see and to watch everybody battling it out. Category 6, our first riders out from those pens. Marius Fossiad taking away the stage win. He'll be leading in that yellow skin suit as our race leader at the end of stage 1, going into stage 2. 2.68 seconds ahead of Stephen Tigert and 2.764 seconds ahead of Leonard Gregg. That's the overall top 3.
It was indeed Leonard Gregg Cadabona coming through for third. Sebastian Escobar picking up the green jersey in that sprints competition with 9 points. He was run really close. Stephen Tigert, 8 points. There's just 1 point currently in that sprints competition. The climb competition was close as well. Arago will take it with 15 points. Toro had 10 points. So expect that to be close. And we're literally going into the category 6 race. They're already out of the pen and they're coming into that first checkpoint. This is indeed the first sprint checkpoint, the 3.7 kilometres. And it is indeed Sebza who's on the front here. Well, Stephen Tigert, he's pushing strong and he's pushing really hard behind. He wants that sprint jersey. He wants to take it off of Escobar, but Escobar is coming. He's currently in about 6th place. He's out of the sprint points. Oh, sprint leader overnight. Not going to take any points in the first sprint. Just not quite being up there enough. It's going to be Wojciech Sebza who takes the 5 points.
And in terms of the overall, the 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 points that you see on your screen added to the over 9 points mean that Escobar now drops to 2nd place in the points competition. Stephen Tigert, the rider with that green jersey, as the leader of the sprint competition. Escobar in 2nd place, Tigert with 12. Escobar in 2nd with 9. Steele in 3rd with 7. Sebza 4th place with 5 points, courtesy of that win, and ahead of Alobadil, who is going to be in 5th place with 3 points.
What can you say? But Wojciech Sebza choosing to contest the sprint competition today and sneaking himself up onto the overall standings with that move.
So the sprint points updating as we go today, as will the climb points on the way through. The general classification, well, if the women's race is anything to go by, it could come down to those very last few metres to see where that goes. Fossiad leading from Tigert from Cadabona, your top 3 riders. Arago, Cridland, Escobar, Fabra, Milostic, along with Patsel and Rooney, the top 10 in category 6. The team competition, nice and close in that as well. BMC 6 is leading the team competition. Their team time 4 hours 38 minutes, 58.337 seconds. That's the fastest 3 riders' times added together for stage 1. And the time gap back from them, 4.874 seconds. So 4 seconds, nearly 5 seconds. And that's all that separates Level Carbon in 2nd place after those times added together their time for the team 4:39.03. So the BMC 6 is leading, Carbon in second, Spinergy in third. They're all within seconds of each other. Then there is a big gap back to the BMC 6 and the BMC 6ers. The BMC 6, they are at 4:26, and the BMC 6ers at 4 minutes 54. So very close between the rest of the BMC squads. ZTBR Cycling in 6th position, the Le Petit Cannibal, and 7th. Wheelies in 8th, Cycling District 6 in 9th, and Team 71 are in 10th position in Category 6. But we've still got lots of racing to go. And that's your Category 6 roundup heading in. We're going to go straight over to Category 5, who are waiting down in the pens. Your stage winner, Clinton Dave Cirillo, taking away race victory by 1.73 over a second from Julian Hertz. And of course, the riders, Joel Warren, coming in, taking away third place. Warren also taking the sprint win at the end of the day, but Bruno Ordono are taking the climbs competition. Those are your top position riders. In terms of that overall, very close at the top between our leading riders, but close all the way through. The top 10 riders separated by 3.939 seconds, sub 10 seconds. And that rider in 10th place is the climbs winner, Ordono. So it's Cirillo, Hertz, Warren, Tapia, Hagland, Kendall, Friedek, Reinheimer, Polacca and Ordono, your top 10.
Well, Warren also holding that sprint competition with 9 points to Hertz's 7. Ordono holding the climb competition. I tell you something, is a long way clear. Vinther, Castro and Tong, though, are tied in second place on 5 points.
And when it comes to our team competition, Cycling District leading the way for Portugal. Their team time 4 hours 23 minutes of racing for their team time. When it's added up in second place, Level Up with Level Avengers in third place. Level Up at 7.7 seconds, 10.2 seconds back, Level Avengers. Then a little bit of a gap to the ZTBR squad in fourth. Danish Dynamite in fifth, Level Warriors in sixth. The BMC Get Racing in seventh, Level Raiders in 8th, BMC Rules in 9th, Road Racing Team in 10th, Cycling District in 11th, and Team Alpha, as they hit the road, are going to hit the road in 12th team position. Category 5, up and away.
Well, they are indeed, and the riders out of the start pen here in Arabia onto the Seven Gems course. Now, this is a course that race on the Sunday Race Club, but they don't race 2 full laps. This is way beyond the distance that they raced there. It was the longest course on the stages in terms of distance for the women. It's not for the men. We go over 80 kilometres on one of the latter courses. But today it's 64.8k, 419 metres of climbing. In with the yellow jersey at the moment, Clinton Cirillo. He's nicely tucked into the bunch in the draft. You can tell that because his numbers, the power numbers in the middle of the white bar up there, are in green. That indicates he's nicely and neatly within the draft. And there he is on our screen.
Looking very good. Very, very nicely tapping those pedals round at the moment, the leader at the moment. Good to get that look into the pain cave as well, to see him there on the bike, making sure that he keeps those revs rolling round. And Cirillo, your leader at the moment. We do have 2 Cycling District teams in the squads when it comes to those team times. And just separating those out, I'm pretty certain, I'm going to say pretty certain, it is the Cycling District 5.1 that have the team lead rather than Cycling District 5.
It is indeed. The point 1 counts.
Yeah, it does indeed, because that point 1 is the difference, because it's Cirillo, Polacca, Tapia, Hertz and Lenador, the riders in that leading team at the moment, Cycling District 5.1. Cirillo looking good when we saw him on the bike there. And today, is it about defence? Is it about offence? How is it?
Well, good question. I think it is about defending the position. So it's a 2-second gap back to Hertz. So I do think the yellow jersey will be in a defensive mode. Eben Svart on our screen at the moment, and I'll tell you something, he's a strong rider, and good to see him in the pack. He's also towards the back of the group, watching what's going on, paying close attention. Joel Warren is in there as well. He's got the sprint jersey and the young riders jersey at the moment, because he finished 3rd overall, took the sprint jersey and is leading the young rider competition, but not by much, because Tapia, one of the other young riders, is just behind him.
Now I've got Ebbsfleet down as my pick for stage 3.
Have you?
I have. I think it's an Ebbsfleet type of stage in Alula. Great to see that insight to him in here. Please do make sure that you join. If you are out and racing, please do get your full name in. Don't use your team name and nickname. Don't put Matt Fixer-Payne on the Zoom room. Don't have iPhone 6 as how you're registering to get in there. Really important, please, guys. If you are racing, we would love to see into your pay cave. See you. No, we don't want to see you suffer, honest.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. We would love to see just how hard you're working, just to see what it means to you when you take that race win at the end. So please make sure you join the Zoom room with the camera feed in. It's not mandatory, but we really do love to see that, and it really does help show just how hard everybody works in this race and how much you put into that. Use your full name as you've registered. So if you're Jacques Russinek, put Jacques Russinek in there. Don't put Jacques Super Speedy Russinek or Jacques I have a Colnago at home. I'd love to win Russinek. Whatever it is, don't put JR in there. Doesn't work. You've got to put the same matching name so we know to admit you into the room so you don't get stopped at the door. If your name's not down, you aren't coming in. It's not straightforward. So please get the name on there. Also, please remember, it is really, really important to put it in landscape mode. So that's the one that goes across your screen rather than going up and down. Do what Mohammed Mukhtari has done. He is an absolute superstar for this. Full marks, sir. If there was a competition for always getting the feed in there in that Zoom room, Mohammed Mukhtari would be right up there on the leaderboard.
I tell you what, he raced well yesterday as well.
He did.
He really did, and he's right at the front of the pack at the moment as they're heading towards the first checkpoint of the day. It's the Future Museum checkpoint sprint. They're coming up for it at the 3.7 kilometre marker, so 700 metres to go. This is going to get a bit spicy, I think. Category 5, Joel Warren, 9 points, hurt 7 points from yesterday. The competition is heating up. Warren has a great team around him, though, part and parcel of the Level Avengers. Mukhtari, Zimael, Gavaria, Ola Warren and Joel Warren. They're going to want to protect that green skin suit and the young rider competition. But the pack at the moment, well, they're 500 metres out, and at the start, we now start to see a push here. We're starting to see a push on the front of the pack, and it's Kirk who is going long.
Well, Ben Cook's super aggressive rider. Even his teammates say that he is known for his offensive moves as he makes his way down here. But look at this, soon getting washed away. Ola Warren leading out there. Joel Warren goes through there over the top. And Joel Warren launched. That was a bit of a slingshot there. It could almost have been a Madison throw in there for Joel Warren. Job done. Points in the bank. Nice moves by the Swede.
Well, Warren 1-2 there, straight up and over the top. Loved it. That was teamwork. And, well, when you've got your dad on your team, what can you ask for? But Joel Warren picks up 5 points. Ola Warren picks up 4. We're going to see Reinheimer pick up 3, Hertz pick up 2, and Hagland pick up 1. Now, I am going to tell a lovely little story because I have had people get in contact with me. Now, we mentioned Joel Warren's just picked up the points in that sprint. He and Tapia, 2 of the riders in that young rider competition. Fabian Tapia from Cycling District 5.1. Joel Warren from the Level Adventures. Both of them in the young rider competition. The teams are going up against each other exactly. In fact, there is Ola Warren, but I'm afraid I'm talking about Joel. Now, Joel and Fabian, the 2 riders in this Category 5 race, also raced together in real life. Both of them competed at the Paris-Roubaix Juniors in 2021.
I'm not sure you could get a much further road race away from riding indoors. There's the Paris-Roubaix, because notorious, the Hell of the North, one of the real monuments of road cycling. This, of course, the MyWhoosh Championship, the monument of esports cycling.
Well, can I tell you, in 2021, it was held in October, because obviously it was a COVID year. And there were problems and challenges around putting the racing on. The weather in 2021, I have been sent some photos, was absolutely horrific. I'll tell you something.
Proper Roubaix weather.
Proper Roubaix weather. And all credit to Fabian Tapia and Joel Warren for going up against each other there, and credit to them for going up against each other here.
Yep, the attacks keep on coming even as they go over the top of the next little rise. Justin Roy just winding it up with Reinheimer, who's again right up at the front. Those sprint points earned by Joel Warren. No Belgium toothpaste today for Joel, but he will be smiling. He won't need any to improve that grin from ear to ear, because he's now leading the points competition in Category 5 by 5 points. When those points were added in, Joel Warren leading 14 points. In a second place, and it's a joint second place, Julian Hertz and Ola Warren, both with 9 points. In fourth place, Nicholas Hagland with 4. And in fifth place, it is Reinheimer with 3. They are your Category 5 sprinters at the moment that we've just seen in action. It's time to head across to Category 4. They're our next group of riders away. Category 4 winner, Giuliano. Came in through, taking that, snatching it from Gomez, and then Yulin behind, all within a second of each other.
It was so good. In fact, the top 5 riders within that second, if you want to round it out, it was such a close race. And Ryan Giuliano, I often talk about him as being one of the riders who we don't really call to the fore as a favourite, but he is one of those riders who sneaks on through and stamps his mark on a race. Fernando picking up the sprint. That was really interesting. Behind Spratt, Rocker and Pino all on 5 points, so not such a big gap. And El Halami with 14 points in the climbing competition. Giuliano and Abello in second on 8 points.
So the leading riders coming in through the first 5 riders in a side of 1 second, but a big sprint run to the line. In terms of teams, the BMC racing team take the team lead after stage 1. And they are currently leading from Peak Power Racing, who are 1.686 of a second behind. Cycling District 4 currently in 3rd place with the Adanuki in 4th place. On the Rivet Racing in 5th, Cycling District in 6th, the Anzacs in 7th, the Ducks in 8th, Level Champions in 9th, Lorem Ipsum in 10th, with BMC 4 in 11th, and the Black Horses, well, they are currently the tail of the horse because they are in 12th position, but no huge gaps. The first few teams, the first 4 teams, the Anuki through to BMC Racing, well, they are separated by seconds. You've got 2 minutes then to the On the Rivet Racing, who are 5 seconds clear of the Cycling District team. You've got the Anzacs versus the Ducks. They are within 0.4 of a second of each other. Category 4, super competitive in the teams, super competitive individually. Can Ryan Giuliano do the usual? And I agree with your point. We don't necessarily call him all race, but when it comes to a finish, he's there.
He is. And it's a Manchado at the moment who's off the front here, absolutely pushing it. Allport is in 2, watching the front of the race with Bogran, but Manchado absolutely dialing it out the start pen in Category 4.
So Category 4, that sprint competition, I think particularly is one to watch here in Category 4. Fernando, 8 points. And then, as you said, you've got Spratt, you've got Rocker, you've got Pino, all behind with 5 points. You've got Shea behind him with 4 points. Then you've got Unger with 2 and Rusty Mackey with 1. So they're your point scorers, 7-point scorers, but nobody really dominant here. Fernando holding the lead, but it's tenuous. 3 points is not a lot when we've got 4 sprints today, and we're going to then be moving on from today into tomorrow, where we've got another 4 sprints to come as well.
Well, yeah, and it just means that it's going to be really exciting because it is going to be really close.
Yep, really close. So, Category 4 away. The riders in front trying to break it up very early on. You've got riders distanced off the back, top right-hand side of your screen, the discs that represent each of these riders, showing that we have riders distance from the main group, but we also have a breakaway going off the very front of the group. Giuliano not panicking. He's down in this main pack. So is our polka dot wearer at the moment, the wearer of the Kings of the Mountains competition at the moment, Mohammed El Alami of the Cycling District 4 squad, 14 points to his name. Behind him is Giuliano, the rider who took the stage victory on 8 points, tied with Dexter Abello. Behind him, then only 1 point behind both those riders, in fact, Rafael Buchter with 7 points to Giuliano Annabello's 8. And then Nicholas Spratt with 4. Che again up in the mix for the BMC Ducks in 6th position with 2 points. And then Buchter and Quiros with 1 point apiece. At the moment, though, this racing just in its early stages, a tentative foray off the front by 2 of our riders in Category 4. They are going through the Ferrari World at 1.7 kilometres as Category 6 are already reaching the 15-kilometre marker.
They are indeed, and they've already gone through the second sprint checkpoint of the day, the Abu Dhabi sprint. Stephen Tigert held on to that green jersey, setting the fastest time and picking up 5 points. Sponsel come through in second, Silva in third, Kozel in fourth, and Escoban in fifth. The rider who came in with the green jersey, well, serious competition today.
Tigert moving ahead on sprint 1, extending that lead on sprint number 2. 17 points for Tigert, 10 points for Escobar, 7 for Steele, 6 for Sponsel, 5 for Sebza in Category 6 in that sprint competition. We are in with a man who has given his name to a verb. We are aiming to get it added to the Oxford English Dictionary at some point. It's certainly in the MyWhoosh Dictionary, the lexicon of terms for tactics when racing, and that is Luke Allport. To do an Allport, to attack from the front in the early stages of the race and really rip it up. Luke in here, resplendent in that Australian skin suit, getting a fast turnaround. His washing machine must be very quick. He's managed to turn around that skin suit. Maybe he's got more than one.
He's been all-porting.
He all-ported the washing.
He all-ported to the washing machine.
He did.
I all-port, you all-port, we all-port, she all-ports, he all-ports. He obviously all-ports between the washing machine and the dryer.
Well, clearly. Indeed. So, Luke Allport on his way through. A fearsome racer as well. And whilst we do we do engage with a little bit of jocularity when it comes to Luke and his tactic off the front, he's one that pays off, and he's a rider who we always love to see racing because he's an aggressive rider who's not afraid to have a go. Really, really important. And that wanting to go push on, that wanting to take that chance and really push in. Now, just in with Wilson Fernando arrives at Villada at the moment. Now, right on the screen, and you can see nicely tapping out a rhythm here.
He's in that green skin
4.
suit, and you can see they're coming up towards the checkpoint, and he's moving to cover the move from Allport. So is Francis Pino, though, and Pino's just kicked at 15 watts per kilo. Spratt is there as well, and I'm not sure what Villada can do here. Villada may well be out of the points because Spratt is up the road. So is Allport, so is Pino. Spratt's going to come up and over, and I think can go past the both of them. Francis Pino now kicks again, but Spratt is holding 11 watts per kilo. Nicholas Spratt, what a move.
He's got such a long power delivery, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He kind of ramps it to 11, and then he stays at 11. You know, he's all spinal tap.
He can hold.
He is. He just turns it up to 11 and holds it on max all the way through. He doesn't peak and then kick again.
It's a long hold.
It is.
Spratt picks up 5 points. Francis Pino picks up 4. Ibrahim picks up 3. Shea picks up 2. And Rusmaki picks up 1.
And that means Nicholas Spratt moves into the lead. You can see the green skin suit on his shoulders. 10 points to Spratt. 9 for second place Pino, 8 points for third place Wilson Fernando Gaviria in there. We have got 5 points for Rocker in fourth place, 5 points for Che, also tied on fourth place, 3 for Ibrahim, and so on. So Villada going through in the third position overall after taking just a few points on the way through. Spratt doing the business up at the top, rips the jersey from his shoulders, going to be moving onwards. So Nicholas Spratt, your sprint leader at the end of that sprint for Category 4. Nice riding there on the way through, though, by Pino as well. One of our fast-kicking sprinters, always one to watch. He's got a high top end, but doesn't seem to hold it quite as long. Maybe he's almost a double kick sprinter.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because there are those riders who can really peak at a sort of 14, 15 watts per kilo or even higher, but they can't hold it for very long. Whereas other riders, as we have just seen, can sort of hold around 11 for much longer. And it's about that balance going into that sprint checkpoint, isn't it? You know, if you can hold a lower level of watts for a longer time versus peaking but not for so long, you know, there's a real fine balance in terms of timing your sprint effort.
So at the moment, category 4 up and away, heading out. But remember, in terms of the overall, very close between Goins as well as Giuliano, 0.7 seconds separating them, but it is seconds in category 4 in that race for the overall today. Our sprints, our climbs, and that run to the finish will decide where that's going to go. I'm not going to give you any spoilers on the way through for the women's race.
No.
But
no,
it came down in terms of race leads on some of those finishes to being decided by not just tenths of a second, but by hundreds and if not thousands of a second, separating and changing race leaders' jerseys. So it really is a course that is going to show just what these riders can do, and getting your timing right at the end is going to be so critical. Okay, let's move across because we're going to move to category 3. Our next category on the way up from category 6 to our elite riders in category 1. And they're down on the start line. You can see yesterday's winner, Nick, I solo to everything, Squilari, along with Juan Guarin and Nicol Cansara, the riders in 2nd and 3rd place. But you can see the time gap, 3.95 seconds, which when you're going into today's stage, that is a huge change, a huge gap that somebody's got to close down and go over the top of if it's Guarin and everybody else is even further back.
Well, that was a phenomenal move from Nick Scolari yesterday. He said, take this. I say, take that. Could it be magic? Who knows? But Squilari, Guarin and Cansara were the top 3 yesterday. Stenman took the sprint jersey, 10 points to him. Morgan in 2nd with 7 points. David Koloski took the polka dots with 14 points. Batty is on 10 points behind. Take This are indeed ahead in the team competition from the gold grabbers, but there it's just 5.8 seconds.
So the teams are contesting the racing in category 3, as Emma said, Take This taking it away from the gold grabbers by that almost 6 seconds margin. What's up behind? Still within single digits at 7 seconds down in 3rd. Level Golden, 8 seconds down in 4th. 9 seconds down Guardians of the Peloton in 5th. 27 seconds down Take That Mafia in 6th. 7th and 8th places are Cycling District and BMC Racing. They're both at 2 minutes 17. So it shows you just how tight this racing is. Category 3, maybe the new category 2. Uber close, hard to win, and incredibly ferociously fought. We will see what happens today when they fight it out on the roads here in Arabia, heading out from the familiar pens, heading out onto the 7 Gems course for 64.8k, a 490 meters of ascent. Face the riders, category 3, up and away. Can Nick Scolari solo twice?
Ooh.
Double up his soloing.
Over 8 days? Or today?
No, just today. Double it up. Do it today.
Possibly.
Well, that's the most non-committal answer I think I've had all day.
Well, I say possibly because actually what I think Nick Scolari probably needs to do, whether he is going to do it or not is another matter, is he needs to sit in the group and let everybody else push on today and cover any moves, because he needs to let them race, because today is probably one of the last days where, you know, it's going to be a steadier, easier day. He needs to save some energy, particularly because he's going to need to defend that move tomorrow on the Vessel Rock climb, because that's one big climb. And then when we get to Zurich on day 4, if he wants to win this overall, that's the day he has to have the power.
Yeah, set an early lead in, hold that lead, go into the climbing days with a lead, extend it on the climbing days, put in a perfect time trial, and then have an easy last day. Unfortunately, whilst that may be the plan that everybody wants to execute, it's not the plan that pretty much I don't think anybody's going to be able to execute, because we've already seen turn-ups in some of our biggest favourites in all of our race categories.
Yeah, but we also saw people doing the double, and I'm not saying who, in the women's race. So anything is possible. Come on, it's a stage race. Anything can happen.
And we all know what Emma loves.
I love a stage race.
There you go. And a good start as well on the way through. So Emma, very busy just making some little additions to the copious amount of notes. a number of trees were recycled on the way through to produce today's notes today. Not everything's possible in a digital format, but particularly as we've not quite run out of screens in the Full Speed Events commentary studio.
I love a notebook as well.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 different screens we're looking at the moment. If you count multi-displays in the screens, at least if actually slightly more. Yeah, everything now going onto paper after that. We're running out a bit of digital. So in with Ibrahim Al-Rafai at the moment. Good to see Ibrahim in here in the white jersey, leading in that Young Riders competition. The Young Riders competition is under 23. It's also known as Espoir, and it really is a competition where you see riders shine who are destined for bigger things quite often in that under 23 competition. Nicely done so far in that competition. At the moment, he is clear. He's got 19 seconds almost on Niall Batty in second in that competition, with Badil in third place and Coimbra in fourth. So they're the riders at the moment, but Batty the big challenger. And I'm sure when we come to the mountains, Ibrahim Al-Rafai versus Niall Batty is going to be its own mini fight, its own mini war up those slopes.
Its own mini epic.
It'll be epic, that's for sure. It's going to tell a tale that they can tell for a long time. That's the definition of an epic, isn't it?
Once upon a time, in a galaxy far, far away. Oh, no.
I was really fast.
Were you?
Occasionally.
Oh, okay.
Very, very occasionally.
Well, I'll tell you something, whether you want to rule the world or if you're back for good, who knows? But take this and take that mafia are part and parcel of the team competition. Adam Stenman in the mix is here right now at the moment. He's the rider we are in with. But this pack all rolling really strongly. The Category 3 race, well, they are heading towards the first sprint checkpoint of the day. Nicol Kansara. Can I just say, Nicol Kansara finished third yesterday. On the stage. And congratulations to him because he was recently wed.
That's a real old school turn of phrase. Recently wed.
I know. Well, you know, I'm an
old
school kind of gal.
Well, I can't imagine that he and his betrothed were celebrating overly long because he's got back on the bike really quick and getting on with the riding the bike and getting into the results. So Nicol Kansara, well, yeah, congratulations, buddy, and I'm sure you're going to have a very, very happy time together. But clearly at the moment, back on the bike, back racing, and on good form. Now, Morgan on the run in towards the sprint. Stenman holding position. Al-Rafai goes over the top. We're at 3.2k. The segment checkpoint coming up, but we've got a little way to go. Now the banner comes into sight. These riders have to keep on pushing. Al-Rafai leading this out. You can see he's down on the drops. He's revving now. He's going to get ready to kick again. You can just see holding 4.6 watts per kilo. He's in position. Let's watch him as we go in towards this sprint. Stenman is there in that green jersey as our sprint winner. Squillari is not letting the move go. Now Al-Rafai goes. You can see him out of the saddle. The revs lift up 116 revs per minute. He's trying to go with the leader, but Nicolas Fourier has opened up the throttle. I think he's engaged afterburners to go through there. Fourier takes it from Gonda, and then Stenman, Al-Rafai and Morgan. We await those positions. Al-Rafai scoring points, but not taking the win that time.
Wow, that was one big sprint. And it was, of course, the Take That Mafia that is Nicolas Fournier picking up 5 points. It looks like Gonda takes 4, Stenman takes 3, Al-Rafai takes 2, and Morgan taking 1.
And Gonda and Stenman, both individual riders, not riding for teams, so able to surf the wheels with no other agenda than the one that they choose. Fournier taking 5 points. That's moved him up to second place in the sprint competition overall so far. Stenman still leading with 13 points, but Fourier now to second with 10. Morgan with another good sprint in there at third place with 8 points, tied on points with Gonda, also on 8 points, and the top 5 rounded out by Oya at the moment. Al-Rafai sitting in 6th position, courtesy of that sprint, so entering into that point scoring competition as well in that sprint competition in Category 3. left-hand side of your screen rather than the right. It is Category 6. These are your leaders on the road. They are currently at the 23.6k, and that means that Category 6 have already gone over the top of our first climb on their way in through. So they've done the Leeward Desert climb on the way through. After that climb, Arago leading the climbs competition, still 20 points to the good from Toro in second with Cadabona, then Steele, and they are your top four so far. 24 Arago, 14 for Toro, 9 for Cadabona, Steele on 6 points. But we are going a little bit more of a push here, just on this little bit of a rise, and it's Peter Cridland, who we see repeatedly trying to break away ahead of Milano and Maxine Fabra, and Simon Llewellyn, who has been uncharacteristically quiet so far.
Well, so far, the Leeward climb where they have just come up and over, they're now on the transition towards the end of the lap before they go out again. But it is Cridland and Milano are clear, 4 seconds clear of the chase behind, and that chase being led by Simon Llewellyn. It's a big pack of riders in this Category 6 race. Arago went over the top of the climb to pick up 5 points. Toro in 2. Interestingly, that was the 1 and 2 at the end of the stage yesterday in the climbing competition. Cadabona in 3, Fabra in 4, and Milano in 5. So that gap between Arago and Toro in 1 and 2 still holding.
We came to the finish of stage 1, and hence our overall positions in that general classification. You can see our winner of the stage 1 was Matthias Vanhe. He leads the competition overall. He's ahead of Alexei Kalman, who took second place by 0.317, another of our fantastically fast and close sprints, with Lucas Hoffman in third place. Simmons not able to feature in that final sprint quite where he wanted to be, leading the sprint competition, and Alvarado in the points. The sprint, so Emma, looking very tasty indeed.
Well, yes. So Simmons leading that sprint competition, Vanhe and Skierski both on 5 points behind. Kalman and Vanhe both on the same team, Abus Esports. The Abus Esports squad really packing it because Olivier Simmons on that squad as well. The climbing competition, it was Alvarado from Tagasuki. 15 points to Alvarado, 8 points Tagasuki in second. Oh. I was going to say the team competition was seriously close. The Goats from Abus Esports, 0.8 of a second separating those two teams, and 1.2 seconds back from the Goats, well, BL13 Watt Bombs.
And only 0.3 of a second behind them. Fast Guys in fourth position. The overall standings at Goats in the top of the team standings. Abus Esports in second. The BL13 Watt Bombs in third. Fast Guys in fourth. Smarties in fifth. The Hitmen in sixth. Cycling District 2 in seventh. The UAE Clan team, who are aggressive all race, in eighth position. They're only 7 seconds back in eighth team position. 27 seconds back of Raiders of the Storm. Then we also have the Maple Baguette squad. They're inside of a minute in 10th place. BMC Elite Racing, DMH, and the UAE Team Emirates squad are in what is 11th, 12th, and 13th place. The Gen Z squad at the moment clearly setting off and looking to see what they can do here today. Be interesting to see how the youngsters get on.
Well, it will, but there's a real large thunderstorm going on here in France outside of the studio. The Raiders of the Storm are out. They are in the competition, but Matthias Vanhe was just fabulous yesterday. Absolutely brilliant racing.
Yep.
1 second separated the top 11, and Matthias Vanhe, the man on your screen, crossed the line first and gets the honour of wearing the yellow skin suit today.
Now,
can he defend it?
Yes.
I think so too.
I think I think there's two things in his favour. One is that he's buoyed with the confidence of winning stage 1. 2 is that this race route is really going to suit him. The two climbs are punchy. We know he can do these. This, a Belgian course, said that yesterday. A Belgian course suits him. This is like one of the flatter Belgian classics. Just the odds.
Well,
sprint uphill.
I'll tell you what also he's done. He raced one of the open qualifiers for the World Championships, and he has qualified for those World Championships once all that has taken place. All those verifications, all the agreements and all the announcements, but pretty much he is bob on for a place in those World Championship semi-finals. And I think he is a man on absolute tip-top form at the moment. So I'm really looking forward to watching him race over the next 8 days. I don't know whether he can hold that yellow jersey for all 8 days, but he's definitely gone in today wearing it. And he could well come out of today wearing it as well. Well, one of the other riders on our screens at the moment, Mohamed Mukhtawi, is here, and you can see him at big window in the pain cave there.
Yeah, Mohamed Mukhtawi, one of our real strong riders, one part of that UAE squad, and real pleasure to see him. We saw him at the UAE, in the UAE Abu Dhabi for the World Championships, the cycling esports. He was there watching the racing, a real gentleman to me, and one of our real talented riders when it comes to racing on MyWhoosh. Sitting in the pack as they came in through at the finish of stage 1. I'm sure he's going to be looking forward to when it goes uphill.
Well, he's one of those riders in the youth competition, one of our under-23 riders. And I think that in itself is going to be a great competition in Category 2.
I don't disagree at all. I'm just going to have a little bit of a check in terms of those youth winners in Category 2. But I think we're going to hit the sprints before I get there.
Well, we're only at 2.1k, but there is a big push on the front at the moment from Maciej Mendakowicz. Olivier Simmons is marking the move, because this could be a move, well, you never know what type of move Mendakowicz is making, but it could well be a move for the sprint checkpoint.
I'm just going to do a quick rewind. Back to the competition for the young rider in the overall. In Category 2, Zach Patterson leading for the BMC Elite Racing. He's only 2.9 seconds clear of Will Cooper in second place. Then Mohamed Mukhtawi, the rider that we just seen on your screen, in third place, 3.139 seconds down. In fact, when you put in Lucas Halen of Abus Esports and Gibbs States of the UAE team member, it's Gen Z squad, the top 5 riders on the under-23 competition in Category 2 are all within 10 seconds of each other. In fact, all the competitors within 18 seconds of each other. It's going to be a real great battle. So you are absolutely on the money there. It's going to be a fantastic fight.
Well, at the moment, the battle here is for the first checkpoint of the day. That's a sprint checkpoint of 3.7 kilometres. We're still 800 metres out, and the battle is on.
So Mohamed Mukhtawi at the moment leading this out, SS on his wheel, but look who's hovering in the background. Olivier Simmons is waiting, so is Trojanowski. Corrales is in there, but Simmons clearly meaning business in this sprint competition.
I'll tell you something, SS has just picked up the pace to over 9 watts per kilo. Mukhtawi is right on the front leading the charge, and I'll tell you something, I think this young rider is determined he's going to cross the line first. SS is sitting on his wheel and watching what happens, ready to go over the top should he need to, but at the moment he's going to cause the back. He's holding the group back and he's letting the rider go. And take a look at this. They've got 150 metres to go, and now it goes from behind. Stella's kicked at 12 watts per kilo. Skierski. Simmons is at 13.5. Corrales is at 14. They're coming now. They're about to go over the top. Corrales is there. So is Manchando. The question is, who's going to make it? Is it going to be Simmons? Oh, that was so close. Olivier Simmons picks it up from Skierski, I think. No. Stella, then Skierski.
Great lead out there. You could just see Mohamed Mukhtawi just leading that race out, really pushing on there. The UAE clan team rider ahead of SS. He had SS on his wheel. SS wasn't able to come around him and utilise that sprint, but really interesting moves there by the UAE clan team who were aggressive all last race. The man at the top, though, it was the ABC Sports rider, Olivier Simmons, who extends his lead. Those points that you've just seen on your screen added up were combined with the points so far. Simmons now leading with 12 points. He's got a little bit more of a gap back to Skierski, who is in second place with 8 points. Van Heet in third with 5 points. Sanchez in fourth with 5 points as well. You've got Phil Graves in fifth with 4 points, tied with Stella. David Stella with 4 points. Then Mr. X100 with 3. In fact, it runs points all the way down through the top 10. Now, one rider I really did want to talk about, Tomoki Takasugi.
Yeah.
Aggressive all race, currently sitting in 11th place. he was 1.024 behind the race leader. After all of that work that he did, he was really instigating. He really made the moves. He was not afraid to have a go. And really, really impressed by the fact that he was so animated all race and going out there and really putting it in there, and still took 11th at the finish. Because quite often on the finish, when you've got a sprint of that magnitude, riders who've worked hard all race just can't stay in the wheels or even close when you come into a finish, to get blown away by people who've been resting pretty much all race.
Yeah, and it was a really good performance on stage one from him. I hope we're going to see performances like that from him day after day. And if we don't, I don't mind, because stage one was brilliant. But absolutely a great race from him yesterday. Really looking forward to watching Tagasuki as we go through over the stages. Ross Fawcett is in here, Ivan Bennett is in here, and Roberto Massa is in here, Ivan Newkey, Callum Preece, the riders all in the mix. Simon Walter, Patrick Bloom. We've just got a bit of a push on the front, and I think that is Marcin Trosjanowski, who is just moving, just stretching the legs. And I think this is a case of not wanting the pack to settle. And that's an interesting element really today, isn't it? Because when you look at the course, Matt, you know, just shy of 65 kilometres, 400-ish metres of climbing, we could see a pack settle and just roll, couldn't we?
Yes. I can't disagree with anything you said there. It's a monosyllabic answer. Yes. Yes, I do agree. It's a pack that, for me, this stage, it's got pack sprint written all over it in a number of categories. And category 2, I think, is definitely one of those because of the quality of the race field. Time to move from category 2 to category 1, where we see Ollie Jones taking the win on stage 1. He is our overall leader as well, obviously, taking the only stage that we've had so far, stage 1. Paradians, the super sprinter, 0.001 behind, and 0.386 to the defending champion, Michael Vink. Paradians, the sprint winner of that competition, and Jason Osborne, the climb competition winner. They're the headline stats, They don't really tell the story, do they?
Oh, the race yesterday was just amazing. And I think the 0.001 back to second place tells the story of the race yesterday. It was absolutely amazing, and Ollie Jones came through at the end to just take that phenomenal sprint. And Paradians was coming, but he just ran out of road. He took that sprint competition, but let me tell you, Paradians, Skierski and Panizza are tied on points. All of those riders in that sprint competition on 6 points, but Paradians came over the line ahead, so he wears the green jersey. Osborne took 10 points in the climbing competition. Panizza took 8 points. Panizza is really consistent across all elements yesterday. But the team competition, Aber Synergy currently leading from AlphaJaw by 0.1 of a second. The Farm Watts squad 2.4 seconds back, and Boss Moves Only 3.8 seconds back in fourth. Nobody would have written that.
You certainly didn't, because I think you, along with everybody else, predicted the Boss Moves Only squad likely to be our team winners. But we still got plenty of stages to go. So, as Emma said, Synergy in 1, Aber Synergy in 1, AlphaJaw in 2, Farm Watts squad in 3, Boss Moves Only in 4, Venga Boys in 5, the Natural Born Gorillas in 6, and Les Dos Mestiques in 7. Today on a stage which could well see riders needing to be pulled back into the draft. Who will be the sprinter king out on the road? Who's got their Mark Cavendish legs engaged? If they can make it over those climbs, will they be doing one of those famous trademark sprints into the finish? We will have to see. I think today we are going to see a bit of smart riding. Your overall leader, your stage 1 winner, Ollie Jones, on your screens. Jones's finish for a rider who, I think Ollie Jones is really suited to this style of racing. I'm going to say that straight away. The way that the race stages have been designed suit Jones down to the ground, because so many of these early stages are not just pure climbs. You need to be an all-rounder to perform on them, to save energy all the way through that stage. And Jones is that, but he's also got a great kick, a great sprint. And we saw that when he came into the finish. We know he can do multi-day stage races. he's gone out early. He's shaken the tree, and at the moment he's leading. I mean, great position to be in, but also in some ways, is it just playing your card a little bit early?
No. I think Ollie Jones wanted that yellow jersey. I agree with you. He's an all-round rider. He might not be the best rider at everything, but he's got every single thing a rider needs in his toolkit. He can sprint, he can climb, he can draft with the best of them. His strategy is great. You could just keep going on about Ollie Jones from that Alpha Jaw squad. But he got it right yesterday. He timed it to perfection. Jasper Paradians, the Abus Synergy rider, was coming in that sprint. But Jones got the timing better. Can he do it again today? Well, he's going to want to defend that jersey. And I tell you something, his teammates are going to want to help him. But it's still such early doors.
Well, as Vidal Mayer is on the front of Category 1, they just taken to the roads here in Arabia, 1.5, 1.6k into the racing. Panisa in behind him. Paradines leading the sprint competition, but tied on points with Skirski and Panitsa, with Don only 1 point behind her, then Freya Pedersen and Chira in that overall sprint competition in Category 1. I'm really interested to see where that ends up. That is absolutely wide open at the moment. Other riders I think worth taking a little look at behind. Bjorn Andreasen.
Yes.
Great ride by him. Again, not a renowned sprinter, known for his...
He drafted well yesterday.
Yeah, he's known for his breakaway win in the World Championship, but he is a multi-talented and multifaceted rider who I think, again, will excel on a course like this. Van Els, Tugels, Churek, Thrall, these are all great all-round riders. I think yesterday's stage showed that even if you are the world champion, breaking away is not easy. Fink tried it. Osborne tried it. Loads of people tried to go, but they couldn't get there.
Well, I don't know what I can say to that, but yes, Vidal Mayer having a push down the road here at the moment. Dont was trying to close him down, but has quickly come back into the pack. Hayden Pucker, Tim Cutler, Noel Pedersen, all on the front of the pack. Neil Fryer is there as well. But Mayer coming back in a little, I think, at the moment, realising that no one's going to go with him. It's not going to be a breakaway, and the pack is still rolling quite comfortably behind. They're 1,000 metres out from the first checkpoint of the day. It's not a concerted effort to go. Carlos Ramirez is there. Said Safrazadi. I tell you something, that's a rider we didn't see yesterday. Said Safrazadi. I know we're going to see him when we get to stages 4 and 5, when the big climbs come to play. And we might start to see him tomorrow, but we never saw him at all yesterday.
I'm going to throw something out there. Boss Blues only squad have decided amongst themselves, this is Osborne, Safrazadi, Knudsen and Vink. Do you know what? Let's save our riders like Safrazadi and Knudsen for those mountain days, for the days when the climbs come on. We need to have our team at full strength. No point in burning energy before we get to them. And I reckon that's where they're at. I stand to be proved wrong.
Well, one of the things I'm looking at the moment, we've got Michael Vink going down the road from the Boss Moves Only squad. But in the sprint competition, Paradian, Skirski and Panitsa, we said, are tied on points. Vink not tied on points with anybody, but he's going for these points today. Ricardo Panitsa is coming in fast. Panitsa tied with Paradians and Skirski. Skirski is coming and so is Paradians. Paradians pushing just shy of 16 watts per kilo at the moment. He's going to go up and over the top. He's got to.
He did.
Did he get it?
I think so.
Must have been close.
It's going to be. We'll find out.
Do you know,
very
it's
shortly.
so close the computer is thinking.
So whilst computer gets steam coming out of it,
There
it was
it is.
parodies from Panitsa, from Vink, Osborne and Honda. One of the things I think Michael Vick wants to wake his legs up today, because they were cruising along. We saw Vidal Mayer go off the front at 5.6. He went clear at 5.6 watts per kilo. That is not attack pace for any of these riders in Category 1. That is less than cruising pace. And he just ride enough. And I think Michael Vick, he wants to get things fired up. He wants to make things move. It's in his interest for it to be a hard race. And I think that's where he's aiming at. We will have to wait and find out. I think time will tell.
Well, and also, I have to say, maybe I shouldn't say it, but I'm going to. Some people might have just saved their warm up a little bit, because it's a long stage. It's going to be a fairly pack based stage, and hence one or two riders might have gone, I could just stretch my legs on that first checkpoint to finish my warm-up. Well, I don't think anybody did, but they could have done.
Yeah, they could have. Well, and if you're a rider of the caliber of these riders, who are we to question their warm-up strategies if they do want to run into this? Now, in with Ibrahim Al Rifai once again, the kick-off and rider nicely tucked in as they go on to the climb. Meanwhile, just taking a look across into Category 2, as SS makes his way up this little bit of a rise at 12.4 kilos. So 12.4 kilos, 12.4 kilometres. Excuse me, whilst Emma just slowly costed that in the other side of the studio. Preventative. Is it lemon and honey today by any chance? I'm getting a thumbs up from the other side of the studio. I'm on coffee. Emma's on lemon and honey. My voice is just about holding up. Emma, I think, just trying to breathe it rather than actually drink it, but we'll see.
Just a tickle.
Just a tickle. SS is tickling the front of the race. So in big style there, he tickled the pedals. He's ridden away. He takes away the points on the sprint by riding clear. 8 seconds clear at the front of the race. The UAE clan team sending riders down the road. He's going to go through. And look at this. It's almost no contest.
I know. It's interesting, isn't it, as to why you would do that and allow that to happen. Because the UAE clan team highly likely just to continue to send SS down the road and to not let him come back and say, right, off you go. No problem at all. Please light the fire beneath this Category 2 race because there's too many of us in it at the moment. So SS picks up 5 points. Trojnowski picks up 4. Skirski picks up 3. Simmons picks up 2. And Ika Morel, one of the coaches on MyWhoosh, picks up 1 point.
And when those points are added in, this is the folly of letting SS go. SS has now moved to 3rd place. He's in 3rd place in the sprint competition overall.
Can I just tell you, the thing about letting SS go is he's now 10 seconds clear of the group and has settled into time trial pace.
Yeah, he's not going to come back in a hurry. Back. You will have to work. If you want to go after him, you're going to have to work. So at the moment, the points competition, Olivier Simmons, 14 points. Maciej Skierski, 11 points. SS from the UAE Clan team, 6 points. Then it's Van Heet, along with Sanchez tied with 5 points. Then Graves tied with Trojnowski and Stella on 4 points. So a real mix of riders in that sprint competition, scoring points on the way through. And it has to be very interesting to see how that plays out. Ross Forster is really pedaling. He's not frozen, I promise you. He's far too dynamic for that. In fact, here he is on the move once again. Ross, of course, known for being able to stream his ride as well as ride the race wherever he is in the world at any point in time, with or without camper van. Have a satellite dish, will stream race, will race on the Sunday Race Club, and racing from HQ at the moment. It's super warm there by the look of it. It is in the UK. Here in France, if it's any consolation, it has been 40 plus degrees. It was 30 degrees overnight in France. The canicule taking effect across a lot of France. Not yet reached the UK, where 22 degrees is considered a heat wave. At the moment, it is much nearer that 30 degrees.
It is much nearer 30 degrees. In fact, I had 2 people yesterday from the UK let me know that it was very, very close to 30 degrees where they were. And Rebecca Johnson was one of them. She had her ice vest ready.
Ice vest, always a handy thing to have in your toolkit for when you're riding. Now, interesting here, Tomoki Takasugi just having to battle his way back on. He's just ahead of Hassan Sultan at the moment. Takasugi working to go back into the group. I think that acceleration for the sprint maybe just pushed him out the back. He's having to respond to get back into position. Remember, our first sprint at 3.7k, our second sprint at 12.7. The riders then go down into that Leeward Desert section where they descend and then climb up the Leeward Desert climb. That's the first part, the full climb taking you right over the top. A real great place to put an attack in. If it wasn't for the fact you're not at a half race distance at that point today.
No, you're not.
Nope.
It's a long one.
Interesting. Big comment. Good to see Christoph comment on the chat. Interesting comment. Category 3 will show us a breakaway each day.
Oh, you think?
That's a good prediction. Like that. Really interesting. So very interesting to see that's his prediction for Category 3. We'll see whether or not that comes true. Christopher, one of those people, getting in touch on the live
so
chat.
the
Do
question
jump on
is,
board.
I'm sorry, Marius Fossey has just used an emote to tell everybody that he's tired. Do you think the yellow jersey wearer is feigning fatigue? Well, he's not fatigued. He can wave, so he's obviously not that tired.
I'm not sure it's tired. I would read that as, this is boring, get a move on. This is
easy. He's going to take a drink instead.
Well, yes.
Cheers.
I can't with Marius Fossey. It's good to have him on camera. Don't forget, get yourselves onto the stream if you're one of our riders. We'd love to see what our riders are up to, particularly if they're wearing yellow on their avatar, because that is really, really good to see what our riders are up to. Fossey has been a prolific sprinter, as we said yesterday on the show. He's a rider who we know is... he loves to be at the front of the race. He loves to be animating the race, and he loves to take that race win. And it's shown he's taking the first one here, and very quickly being announced here by riders around him. But Cridland, very active again.
Yes, he is indeed. Peter Cridland is very active today, and there we go. There he is. He's got a smile on his face. He's enjoying himself on this stage race so far, and it's only day 2. And hopefully he's got that smile on his face on day 8. But Fossey and Cridland, Catabona and Montoya, Milano and Wakefield with Jeff Rooney. There's a bit of a stretch on this group.
They are in Cridland, smiling with a new hat. New hat required every day on camera, please, Peter. We want to see that collection shown off to its best. In fact, in the very original Full Speed Event studio in the cellar of an old pub underground, there was a point at which we had a collection of caskets and hats on the wall in the back of the studio on some of the camera shots on the very early days. I think we had about 20 caps on the wall at that point. Let's see if Peter Cridland can match that. One man who at the moment is letting the breeze go through his hair is Martin Trojanowski.
Interesting.
Going after SS, closing the gap down, bridging across from that group to the leader. And
do you know, if this was 45k, I'd say this was a dangerous move, but it's only 17k into a 64k stage race. So perhaps it's not as dangerous as it could be.
No, it's not as dangerous as it could be. 14 seconds to get back to Simon Walter, Jan Kaplinski, Machado, and the rest of that group.
I tell you what it is dangerous for.
Go on.
The sprint, the climb checkpoint, sorry. The climb checkpoint coming at 19.6k, the first Leeward Desert. In fact, you can see they're about to descend into the valley, and then they'll climb out on that Leeward Desert climb. And they've given themselves 14 seconds to get across that line before them, and is perfectly doable. There we go. So 14 seconds clear at the moment at the 17.5 kilometre marker. This group, well, they may well be happy and content to let SS and Trojanowski go clear for those points. 5 and 4, 3, 2 and 1 will come from this group if they don't make the catch. Well,
SS has got the most gain there. I think that's a good point there. He's the nearest rider on that climbs competition. He's currently in 4th place with 5 points. It would move him up into 2nd if all the other points stayed the same. Bearing in mind, he could potentially take those points. Trojanowski, nowhere near in terms of points. He's not scored a single point on the climbs competition. So SS, the most to gain there. Sorry.
Can't Ken on our screen at the moment, and part and parcel of this category 2 race. He is part and parcel of this pack that are riding. He's going to want to be in the mix, I think. Interesting, though, towards the back of the group behind the yellow jersey.
Well, he needs to get a move on, because he's 3rd in the climbs competition, and they're on to that climb at the moment. Meanwhile, back in with our riders in category 3 at the moment. We're in with Runa Bakken as category 3. Badil at the front of this group. Amaro, Abaka, Ridley, Kansara in their sleigh deck in this group at the moment. It's 2 seconds the gap from 3 riders back to the main bunch. it needs to establish quick. Young rider Badil in there with Amaru, with Bakken. You can see Arun Bakken in the pain cave there, working well. Just got the stats up by the side of him. But for me, this group really does. You need to go with intention and with a number of riders who also intend the same.
Well, the riders closing it down very, very quickly. Yeah, it's just too far out at the moment, I think, for any gap to really be allowed to go anywhere. And this is the gap that's gone in the Category 2 race, and Trojanowski and SS have gone clear. But look at this, Adrian Alvarado, the rider in the polka dot skin, so sprinting up this climb. I mean, admittedly, it is only 900 metres long, but he's absolutely put in a massive dig here. Tagasugi and Massa also behind, pushing strongly to get to the top of the Liwa Desert climb over the top of SS, and they're going to make it. This is the sprint checkpoint at 12.7. They're still 500 metres out here, but Vinken Paradians, Pedersen and Skierski, Panizza all to the fore. Pau Skierski about to launch. He's going at 12 watts per kilo. He's going to go up and over the top. Paradians has not launched yet, but Skierski has gone long. So Skierski goes with 300 metres to go. This is one big push from Pau Skierski to see if he can go clear. Look at Jasper Paradians, 16 watts per kilo in response. Big kick, now trying to hold it at 14, but has Skierski got enough? I think Skierski might have given himself enough sliding room here to stay clear of Paradians.
And he's just such a punchy, powerful rider. He's going to go through. Now, he is going to move up. He was in third place, Skierski, with 8 points. He now moves into second place with 13 points. Paradians, 15 points now the total. So Paradians leading the sprint competition by 2 points from Skierski, from 2 points from Panizza. Those points that you see on your screen added to the points already scored in the stage one. That will continue onwards. So each and every one of these sprints, the points added up to the previous one to give us our overall winner of the sprints when we get to the end of the competition. Overall, at the moment, Paradine is leading at 2 points to Skierski, then Panizza, then Fink, then Dont, followed by Fryatt, Jones, and Pedersen.
Can I just say, in that young rider competition, in the under-23 competition in Category 1, Hayden Pucker currently leading it by around 1.4 seconds from Pau Skierski.
And Linneman lost it only 3 seconds back in
I know,
third place.
It's really close.
Yeah, very, very close for those riders. Yonsei Honda just dropping out of contention a little bit in that competition, but that does then give Honda the sliding room maybe later to go for a stage win where people are not going to be worried about him in terms of the overall. So there's always a silver lining to every cloud.
Multiple strategies across 8 days, and at the moment X100 and Phil Graves, the two riders from the UAE clan team, pushing on now at the front. So SS has dropped back, X100 and Graves moved forward, and they have just come up to the top of the climb, and you can see the gap behind now. Quintera, Ospina, Quinston and Hansen leading the charge behind, but the gap now at 5 seconds, and Graves starting to dig in.
So, Emma, do you have the results of the Liwa climb, the climb points for Category 2?
I do. Last time we saw Trojanowski and SS go clear. Alvarado was closing them down. Alvarado did indeed go underneath the polka dot banner in 1. Trojanowski in 2. Ken in 3. Kaplinski in 4. And SS in 5. Those are the riders who picked up the points.
And when you add those points to the overall, it means that Alvarado is now clear. He's got more than double the points of the nearest rider, Kankayan. So Alvarado with 20 points overall. Kankayan in second with 9 points. Takasugi in third place with 8 points. SS in fourth with 6. And Callum Pearce rounding out the top 5 at the moment with 5 points.
Well, Category 2, I tell you, this attack from X100 and Graves, I think could well go. I mean, it is still early, but it could. They're at 7 seconds at the moment, but it is a real concerted effort. They're at 6-7 watts per kilo at the moment, really pushing. Category 1, the last riders out of the start pen, well, they are coming up to the 15-kilometre marker. They are transitioning over towards the Liwa Desert climb, but they've got a little way to go yet.
They have a little way to go yet, indeed. Category 2, I agree. That is a very dangerous move going down the road. 10 seconds at the moment, the lead for Graves and Mistakes 100. Top right-hand side of your screen. Left-hand side of your screen, we saw Roombacker earlier on. He's currently leading the charge in Category 3, bottom left-hand side of your screen. But the group are still coming back, so Badili's with him. Andrado and Co not all that far behind. A much more compact group of compacto for Category 4. It's a giant-sized group who are pushing on the bottom right-hand side of your screen. Category 4 at the moment at the 35-kilometre marker. Category 1, that's 15.4 kilometres. Anyone think I ain't got my glasses on reading that? So, Category 1. Big group all together. Who can close down our leaders in the breakaways? Can anybody break away from Category 4 or Category 1? Looks like another big push coming in. Category 4 at the moment. Category 4 at that 35.4 kilometre mark. It's a long run to the sprint, to the Future Museum sprint, but I think this is a long run, a long bid to take points here. And look at Velarde go. He has not just gone long, he's gone ginormously long. Spratt has gone after him to close the gap back down again here in Category 4. Really interesting tactics there by Velarde. But it's all going to come down to who's got the legs. So Velarde, the leader in the competition, goes early. Spratt goes at him. Spratt is in second place in the competition, 1 point behind. Che also is in the mix. He's got 10 points, the same as Spratt, and only 1 point behind Velarde. But at the moment, Spratt has got the gap, and that banner is coming. Spratt answers the move by Velarde. Anything you can do, I can do better. Goes over the top, and at the moment, at 7 watts per kilo, is holding a 5-second gap behind. The rest are going to have to actually do a sprint here as they go in. Spratt is going to cruise, I think, into this. He's got the distance. He's got the gap. He's almost halfway between the bunch and the line. If they pull him back now, I'm not sure what they've engaged. It won't be nitrox. It won't be the afterburners. They're going to have to find time travel.
Well, whilst they're searching their back pockets for time travel, Nicholas Spratt has gone underneath the banner in one. Velarde, it looks like, I think, Ibrahim goes over the top, and I think Velarde might just have snuck it, but he might not. Wow, that was seriously close. It is going to Spratt with Ibrahim in 2, Ungara in 3, Velarde in 4, and Rustamaki in 5.
When those points are added into the totals, it now means that Wilson Velarde has dropped from first to second place in the points standing in that sprint competition. The points on your screen added to the existing points puts Nicholas Spratt's total at 15 points as leader. Velarde, 13 points in second. Ibrahim, 11 points in third. Che, 10 points in fourth place. And Pino, 9 points in fifth position.
Well, I can tell you 42 riders in that leading group in Category 4. It's a group you'd want to get away from.
Well, we're going to go across from that group in Category 4 to the leading group in Category 2. Nathan Guerra on our screens in that Category 2 race. Guerra had a good result. Came in the 6th position. He was right in on that sprint. I mean, he has said he's on the form of his life. I've seen Nathan on screen and watched him racing for a lot of years. I don't think I've ever seen him as quick as he is now, or looking as lean as he is now.
And nippy.
Nippy?
Nippy.
Nippy?
Yes.
Not like with your fingers, you mean like fast and darting and
yes,
quick?
Fast, darting, nippy.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a fair description. Well, he nipped to 6th place, 6.6 of a second down on the race leader.
Positioning himself really great.
Yeah, he should do with all his experience.
Well, exactly, and rides out on the road, rides and races indoors, races out on the road too. And do you know what? It's great to see him doing so well. Well, Marcian Wozniak at the moment is doing some chasing. Graves in X100 still at 7 seconds. Mendakowicz and Wozniak are doing the chasing here. The two riders adamant they want to bring the UAE clan team back. And, you don't want to bring the UAE clan team back, quite rightly, but they're not at half race distance yet in that Category 2 race. They've still got some way to go. If X100 and Graves want a time trial away, it's going to be a very long team time trial.
Yeah, the team time trial with do you know what? If you want to do a team time trial with 2 riders, so make a 3-up team time trial, you could do a lot worse than join Mr. X100 and Phil Graves. They're both riders who know how to ride the platform and ride well. If they get joined by a small group, a pair, duo, trio of riders, that would be a dangerous, dangerous move. The problem is
the rest of the pack won't let that happen.
Anybody who tries to bridge across is just bringing the group with them. What they need to do is attack from the bunch and get across as one or two. So the teams talk to each other, talk to your teammates, say, right, we're going to go from the back, we're going to sprint through together, you and me, let's go, kick now, we're going to go across, and let's really, really make the rest of the teams work behind to pull us back. And if they don't, well, we're in the leading group of 4 or 5.
Well,
if they do, they've worked really hard.
I don't think it's going to stay clear. I think you are going to see riders pull back. Wozniak is going, look, there's a big kick at 11. The problem is you can tie yourself out doing this, unless the other riders are playing the game with you. And why would you? You just sit in the pack and let somebody else work.
No, do it once and do it right. Go on the counter attack, get across and bridge across. Do it the once, but do it with your teammate and do it and get there. We'll see if that's going to happen. Meanwhile, mountain competition, the climbs competition in Category 1. No surprises to see the current leader up at the front, Jason Osborne.
Yeah, he is, and he's getting there too. And he did kick at 10 watts per kilo because Panizza was right on his heels. Ricardo Panizza, covering the moves in the sprint and the climbing competition. Fabulous to see. But Jason Osborne picking up 5 points there on the first ascent of the Liwa Desert Climb. In fact, actually, Ollie Jones I have on the screen. Actually, I have different results there. I have Jason Osborne, Ricardo Panizza, Wu, Jones and Vink. And we will hold fire and see which ones are correct.
Indeed, excuse me. There you go. There we go. Emma wasn't using telepathy. It's she very sits smug on the other side of the studio. Lots of data to pull in from so many different races, so different sources. So you can see the points on your screen: 5 for Osborne, 4 for Panizza, 3 for Wu, 2 for Jones, and 1 for Vink. Added to the overall points, it means that Jason Osborne still in the lead in the points competition with 15 points. Behind him, Ricardo Panizza with 12 points, just 3 points behind. 3 points behind Panizza is Ollie Jones in 3rd, and then it's 2 points further back to Tugels in 4th, and only a point further back, Michael Vink in 5th.
Well, there's a big stretch on this group at the moment, and if I think about this group from the front to the back, there are 31 riders in it. I'm wondering whether there will still be 31 riders in it as we go up and over the top of this second climb here. That climb is on the left-hand side of your screen, and in fact, I can see now 2 riders getting distanced, and they're not the first 2 riders in the Category 1 pack to go off the back.
Meanwhile, Category 2 are 2 leaders, Mr. X100 and Phil Graves. Kaplinski, Wozniak and Bindakowicz are on their way. They're the 3 riders who have distanced themselves from the main group. We're in the tunnels. This is a really great place to go. Get across, get into position 28.2K. This is where it's that no man's land between lap 1 and lap 2, between the end of the Liwa Desert Climb for the first time and going into the second set of sprint checkpoints. For me, if you could get across, this is dangerous. I'm not surprised to start to see riders like Van He, the yellow jersey, starting to move to the front. You certainly can't let riders like Wozniak, join the likes of Mr. X100 and Phil Graves at the front of this race. Big, dangerous thing to do. You just don't want to let that happen. It's what the Wozniak is trying to do, and it may stick, but we're seeing riders now starting to move across.
Yeah, we are. The question is, will they make it across? Will they actually join together, and will we have a group of 5 clear at the front? This pack here really now starting to motor on this climb, and they're nearly at the top of it. It's just 2%, but it's enough to get some resistance and put some power down, and that's what might inspire this group of riders to close it down. What the riders need to be careful of is getting dropped off the back of the group as the group now charges to try and sweep up the breakaways.
So Mohammed Mutaway just making sure he gets back into contention with this group, not wanting to let the gap go, not wanting to let the air come in between him and that group. The top centre of your screen, when the numbers go green, it means that the watts that are being produced are keeping the rider in the draft. If they are in the black at the moment, as you'll see, it means that they are pushing on and they are in the wind. We have 2 riders, then 3, then a solo chaser in the shape of Corrales, then Quintero starting to break clear of tailing riders going across in ones, twos, and threes. And now the danger comes. Even if the front comes together, if you don't make the split, and if you're in a minority-sized group behind, you could get dropped, and you are going to lose a whole shed load of time between here and the finish. You've got to be in it. Nobody in that group can afford to let big gaps go now. They've all got to be very much aware of what's happening at the front of the race. Don't let the gap go. Don't get distance, and do not, under any circumstances, get caught in a small group off the back, because the majority of riders are going to be in front, and they've got the big powerhouses up there. You're going to get left behind. The train will leave the station. You are going to be stood there just watching it disappear.
Well, I can tell you something. You can imagine the conversations going on yesterday after the end of stage one, where this category was so close, where 7 seconds separated the top 8 teams. And the teams' conversations would have been, I imagine, right, how do we do this? How do we break away? How do we go clear? How do we establish ourselves in this team competition properly? And the UAE clan team with X100 and Graves and SS would have been having those conversations in spades alongside the GOAT squad, alongside the Watt Bombs, alongside Abus Esports. They will all have wanted to work out what they needed to do. And, well, they would have pushed on, and they're executing those plans today. Another rider executing a plan at the 23.5 kilometre marker. Hayden Pucker in the white skin suit of the young rider competition in category 1 has pushed on and gone clear, 5 seconds clear of the group. And Michael Vink has made the transition across. Jason Osborne is pushing on the front, and I think Osborne is going to want to come over as well. But the issue now with Osborne is bringing everybody else with him.
Yeah, 100%. Hayden Pucker's move there, a classic trademark Farm Watts squad Pucker move. Go on a downhill, go get the power down. We know he's capable of producing absolutely phenomenal power that people question, and they'll go, oh, is it real? You know, like a stuck record. But you know what it is? He's capable of putting that power down. Having met him in real life, you see him in action. He just produces huge power. When he finesses that, he's going to be an absolute weapon. At the moment, it's still quite raw, and I think he's still got some more to come. So he's putting that power down. He goes clear. Vink chases after him. And then Osborne goes, and everybody goes, hang on, Vink and Osborne are down the road. Oh, my goodness, it's Pucker. Let's get after him.
Not being funny, Michael Vink's nearly got 10 years on Hayden Pucker. That's a long time to learn your racecraft.
You calling him old?
No, I'm not calling him old at all. I'm just saying that there is a long differential in terms of age and experience between the two. And Hayden Pucker is a young rider coming into his sport. And Michael Vink is an absolute polished stone.
Past master.
No, he's not a past master.
Grandmaster.
Grandmaster, that's a good phrase.
Grandmaster. There we go. So the Grandmaster himself is Vink. He is with the apprentice Pucker. When will the apprentice overtake the master? We will find out, because they are the two leaders clear in Category 1. Category 2, Mr. X100 and Phil Graves still up at the front of the race. They go underneath the finish banner for the first time. Next time they see that, it'll be at the end of the next lap, because they've got to go right round this circuit once again.
They have. I'm just watching Category 6, because Category 6 had just come over the Liwa Desert climb for the second time. 21 riders, I think, in contention in the leading group at the moment. They've got the second part of the climb to go as part and parcel of the 12.5 kilometre run to the finish line. But they've been led over by Arago, Cadabona, Kozel, Cridland and Fabra.
And when their points are added in provisionally, of course, because these are live stats, you've got Arago taking top spot in that climbs competition in Category 6, Toro taking second, Cadabona taking third, Steele taking fourth, and Montoya taking fifth place. Arago with 25 points to Toro's 14 and Cadabona's 13.
Well, interesting moves here in the Category 1 race, because Vink's gone over the top of Hayden Pucker, and Pucker's jumped onto Vink's wheel. Turek pushing, but so is Paradians on this to bring them back down, because it's a dangerous duo. Can you imagine a 2-up Vink-Pucker time trial?
It's only more scary if you put in Jason Osborne and make it a 3-up.
Well, it's just amazing because the rest of the Category 1 pack have decided, nope, we're not letting you go, and they've closed it down. So we had 31 riders in the leading group here. They are at the 26.2 kilometre marker. They are coming towards the end of lap 1 and about to go out onto lap 2. But they are all together, Osborne, Andreasen, and just imagine, just between those two riders, there's 3 World Championship titles. Osborne, Andreasen, Kroll, Thrall, Vujasin, Milostic. They are all in here, whether it's the yellow jersey competition, the polka dot jersey competition, the green jersey competition, or the white jersey competition. Even the Masters competition, because let's not forget there are 5 riders in the Masters competition in this category.
So Category 1 breaking yet again this time around. It is going to be, I think, Woo Justin Pucker up the road. So the dangerous trio of riders up the road. Meanwhile, Category 6 at the front of the race, again going over the top of that climb. Fossiad really dialing it over the top. Diaz staying with him. Farber there as well, but doing damage, and they've distanced even more riders. So the Leeward Desert climb in Category 6, blowing that race apart and definitely causing damage behind the leaders. In Category 1, 3 riders going clear. We'll see whether Woo, Pucker and Co can stay clear with Vujasin. The category we haven't seen all that much of, Category 5, left-hand side of our screens. Let's just take a little bit of a check where they are on the course. They are at 51.1 kilometres, and that means, guess what? They're coming into the self-same climb. So here we go, the climb coming up for Category 5. Cirillo, our race leader in the mix here. We've got our climbs leader so far, that is O'Donoghue. So as they come into this climb, just quick recap for you. O'Donoghue leading the climb competition in Category 5 with 13 points. 2 riders tied in second, Tapia and Tong. We then have Castro in 4th place and Hagland in 5th, Vinther in 6th, Pulaka in 7th, Strandvik in 8th, Mountier in 9th, and Ola Warren rounding out the top 10 as they go up on to that climb. Meanwhile, straight across to Category 2, because guess what? Another attack, another set of moves going in. SS charging his way up into the group with Mutaway as they come to the 34.8 kilometre marker. They're a little way off going into the Future Museum climb at 36.5k. But at the moment, Category 2 is really active today.
I'm loving the Swan Years and Helpers in the background.
Well, team support is really important, and I think that's really, really one of the key things for me that we see time and time again. The UAE Clan team riders do have real support there and really do utilise that, because it is really important. You've got to focus on that racing. You've got to focus on the riding. You need everybody else around you to help you. Now, back in with Category 5.
It is indeed, and O'Donoghue on the front. But, and I say but, they're at the 52.1 kilometre marker. They've got around 250 metres to go till they get to the top of the Leeward climb for the second time. But the push is on, and Tapia is the run pushing on here. So Fabian Tapia, the young rider here, pushing on, going over the top of O'Donoghue. In fact, the polka dot skin suit rider is now in trouble because Castro has gone over the top as well. Tong is riding strongly, so is Painter and Holm. Brambati is there as well. The banner is coming, and Bruno O'Donoghue may well be in trouble here. Tapia, 6 seconds ahead. What a great job from the young rider here. Fabian Tapia going straight over the top and taking the points in that competition. Castro now versus O'Donoghue. O'Donoghue just squeezing for those 4 points. Castro will take 3rd. Holm, I think, will take 5th. And Brambati will take the final point.
So the sprint by Tapia to go clear put him temporarily into the lead, but O'Donoghue moving over. Castro in those last meters to claim the 4 points has helped him and added to his points total, taking him back to the top. A real shuffling around, but at the end of the sprint competition, the climb competition, at the end of stage 2, O'Donoghue is going to go out from stage 2 with that lead with 17 points. Tapia in 2nd place on 14 points. Castro in third place with 10 points. Tony in 4th place with 9 points, and Hagland in 5th place with 6 points. It is a big group, round about the 37-38 rider mark, I think, at the moment, as they won't go over the top. 37, is it, Emma?
37 riders in that leading group, and 12.5 kilometres now to the finish line, and there's one small climb which they are on already, and now they are starting to push.
So we're in with category 2, just a little bit of a push from Ross Fawcett on the front here, being answered very quickly, I think, by Ospina and Mutaway, along with Ritter and Thiem Damsgaard now moving up. Ross Fawcett, dangerous man to let go off the front of the group, really pushing on.
Well, Mutaway picked up the points as they went through the Future Museum sprint checkpoint at the beginning of lap 2, just around 700 metres ago. That's what we saw him driving towards, and he was rewarded with 5 points in that competition. SS took 4, Bennett took 3, Skierski took 2, and Manchando took 1. It's a big pack of Category 2 riders as well, as we're watching the Category 1 race. And tell you something, it's Pucker on the front again.
Well, why not take it to him? Best form of defence is offence, and at the moment, really pushing on here. Really interesting. The Farmont squad sending him down the road and time again. Harris, Norum, Pucker, Nair, Andreasen. Yesterday, Andreasen was doing a lot of the animating, going clear. Now we're starting to see Pucker putting in the moves on the front, seeing what moves it provokes, causing the rest of the riders to chase. The more you can make people work when they don't want to, the more that you make the likes of Fink and Osborne work when they don't want to, the more that you can really put the pressure on everybody else. At the moment, it's all about pushing on. It's all about squeezing on. It's all about trying to open those gaps up. At the moment, Pucker's move off the front, that's not a chase yet. That's not a move. I think people think, we've seen this before. It's one rider. Let's see what develops.
Well, it's always the same rider at the moment. Really interesting.
Now, into category 4, certain Nicholas Spratt on the move, 49.6k into this race. Nicholas Spratt's doing a squirrelari off the front at the moment.
Well, why not?
Yeah, why not? Give it a go.
I mean, he's still got 15k to go, but, you know,
yeah.
It's 15k time trial.
Well, yesterday there was some disbelief that Squirrelari was going to make it, and he did. Spratt has gone. He's got a little bit of a gap here, 7 seconds at the moment. And this is now, when you make these moves, for me, one of the key things, it's not about what you do, it's what happens after, how much reaction there is.
Well, and he's looking for that next climb. The Leeward Desert climb on lap 2 comes at the 52.4 kilometre marker. That's the checkpoint. And Spratt, well, he's at...
50.3.
Yeah, he has it. He is at 50.3. He's got 2k to go. I think that's an intention for the climb.
I don't think you're wrong. Now, just a little bit of a check into category 1. Great riding by Christopher Morgan. He has got a 14-second lead. Top left-hand side of your screen. He's clear at the moment. He's also doing a squirrelari, doing it with some aplomb, because that 14-second gap is to a big group of riders behind. Badil, Sladek, Tidholm, Amaro, Kalman. It's a real who's who of that Category 3 race. And at the moment, Christopher Morgan of the 44.1k marker is clear. And it could well be that he's going to pick up not just the points as they go through the Abu Dhabi sprint, but he's able to keep that gap into the descent to the Leeward Desert climb.
Oh, time will tell. And time is very telling, because we're looking at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, or at least I am. And at the 8.6 kilometre marker, that Category 6 pack is rolling and rolling strongly, and you can see more than 20 riders in that group. And in fact, I'm just taking a little look at my... Oh, I've not written it down. How dare I not write it down? Honestly, this is why I like paper and pen. But you have to remember to use them. Rooney, Korvac, as you see insights into the commentary box today, Escobar, Mamba, Maillard, McMurtry, and you can see 24 riders. Thank you to the wonderful team back in production, putting these... They do, and they're just showing they respond to what we say as well. What a team!
Yep, I have to say it is a big team. We get the nice bit on the front, putting words to the action. They have to spot the action, the riders, who's in the Zoom room, who is going to go on screen. They're simultaneously watching 6 race categories, whilst at the same time controlling all of the graphics that you see, all of the pictures that you see, and trying to make sure everything goes out smoothly and without a single hitch, which in such a complex operation, it doesn't always work. I mean, let's face it, we can have a pen and paper and forget to write things down. And if anybody's heard my counting skills backwards from 5, you'll know they're absolutely rubbish. But fortunately, as a team between us, we're hopefully keeping you entertained on the way around. Please, please, please do get in touch. We would really love you to give at Biking Emma a follow on Instagram, at Matt Fixer Payne a follow on Instagram. Give MyWhoosh a follow, and of course, get on board on the chat and follow our riders. Follow Jeff Rooney, a man whose exploits in taking Strava segments in his hometown has put him now as a target. He is now known. You actually, it is a mark of respect if you manage to take one of Jeff Rooney's KOMs.
Is it?
Because he is so prolific chasing Strava segments, apparently.
Well, can I just say to you, I'm noticing there's only 5 maps left on that whiteboard behind. So yesterday's one is gone. I'm assuming today's is in front of him, so he doesn't need to turn sideways to check where he is, which leaves 5 left on the board for 5 stages yet to be ridden.
Ceremonial burning of the stage profile afterwards?
No, absolutely
Scrunch it
not.
up and throw it in the shredder?
Keep them as a memory for the future, or as a reference in my pack.
In your extensive notes, yes, we know. So well done to Jeff for always keeping us entertained and for some fantastic shots into that pain cave. We continue onwards with our Category 6 riders at the moment. They're at the 60.3k marker. And let's be fair, this group now are thinking about the finish.
They are, and John Wakefield is on the front of the group with Jeff Rooney, Peter Cridland, Simon Purcell, Orlando Montoya, Petra Ubtra is on there as well. And the pack, do you know, they are just rolling wide. 24 riders, and there we go. A Truba we go in with right now on our screens. Part and parcel of that group, you can see multiple skin suits in there. The young riders there, the polka dot skin suits there, the Masters competition rider is there, the yellow jersey is there. Marius Fossey is thinking about how he defends that jersey now with just 4k till he gets to that finish line.
And Pedro Truba, one of our regular riders, good to see him in action here. Nice shot into the pay game, and you can see at the moment just trying to keep everything moving smoothly as they run through this section. Get as much recovery done on the way in to that finish. Really, really important. Don't forget, of course, that we're going to try and bring you all 6 of our race categories. We will try and wrap up as many of the individual categories on the way, but all of the results that we give you at the moment are provisional, because the verification process that started before the riders were up and rolling as soon as they registered continues right the way through the race and out the other side, and each and every stage has to be verified before those results are official. That means that at the end of the day, the results are not necessarily going to be official until the following day. So you do need to keep an eye on the MyWhoosh website. It's mywhoosh.com/results, and if you go on there, you'll see a provisional result with all of the individual categories, the rankings and so on. But of course, bear in mind, it isn't final until the very end.
Well, at 37 kilometres is where they are heading. Category 1 are at the end of lap 1, and there are 21 riders now in the leading group. Let me give you a run through as we watch Hayden Pucker go off the front again. Well, Jasper Paradians, Michael Vink, Ricardo Panizza, Jason Osborne, Noel Pedersen, Jungfen Wei, Paul Skierski, Ollie Jones, Christoph Kroll, Bjorn Andreasen, Syed Safrazadi, Hayden Pucker, Josh Harris, Daniel Turek, Stefan Van Elst, Lionel Yassin, Neil Fryatt, Mikhail Kaminski, Michael Knudsen, Johan Noren, and Lyndon Milostic are all in that leading group on the left-hand side of your screen.
And our Category 1 riders at 37.5k have now completed 3 of the 4 sprints today. With the points from that third sprint added in, the current standings in that sprint competition in Category 1 show that Jasper Paradins is at the top with 20 points. In second place, Ricardo Panizza with 14 points. 1 point behind is Paul Skierski in third with 13 points. Michael Vink is in fourth with 10 points and Ruben Dont in fifth place with 5 points. They are your sprint scorers at the top of the standings and full results that are provisional at the moment on the standings. But Pucker once again on the attack, on the move, going on the other side of the sprint, doing that classic double. Wait till riders go through the sprint and then go yourself over the top and attack.
Well, the Farmwatch squad putting him down the road again, and interesting to see how this plays out. The Farmwatch squad, Josh Harris, Johan Noren, Hayden Pucker, Zach Nair and Bjorn Andresen. It is a squad that will try, and one of those things, we were talking about the team competition in Cat 2 with 7 seconds separating the top 8 teams and feeling that is what was setting the race alight today, that team competition. Exactly the same in Category 1, 3.8 seconds separating the top 4 teams. Aber Synergy in 1, Alpha Jaw in 2, Farmwatts in 3, and Boss Moves Only in 4. They can wait till we get to the mountains, or they can strategically plan to do something. And I think the Farmwatts squad, today is the day they're having a play.
Why not?
Well, why not indeed, I have to say. But the 62.9 kilometre marker, this is the run for the line for Category 6. We saw there were 24 riders in the group the last time we were in with them. I see no riders off the back of the group as they come through into the roundabout with 24 riders in the leading group. The yellow jersey is here. The white jersey is here. Yesterday, it was Fosseed versus Tigert. 3 seconds separated those 2 riders. Cadabona, Arego and Cridland rounded out the top 5. Well, a 24-up sprint today. It could go anyone's way.
Yeah. Going to be entertaining. Fosseed, though, winding this up from a long way out, goes up onto the front in that yellow skin suit. Everybody knows exactly who that is as he goes up the road and moves to the front, wanting to pick the pace up a little bit. Some people will want to sprint from a high pace. Other sprinters are the people with big power, but a lot of torque, who can put down some massive watts, but only do it for a very short period of time, will want it to wait for as long as possible. So if they're only capable of producing, they might kick out 2,000 watts, but if they can only do it for 3 seconds, they need a 3-second sprint. And that means leaving it late. They're not going to get that. I think what we're going to see is we're going to see this wind up in here. And then, Emma, when they get in to that last section, it's who can sprint off the top of quite a high speed. I don't think, because today has not been a mountain stage, it's been what is a relatively straightforward stage, I don't think we're going to see an easy sprint from a low, easy for those people who want a short sprint. Are we going to see a high-speed sprint, and we're going to see it going at pace?
Well, at the moment, it's about positioning within the group, and I tell you something, Marius Fosseed is pushing on here. This is a long run, actually, to the line. We've still got 700 metres to go. I wouldn't want to stick my nose out this early. He's now backed off a little. Milostic is there, Escobar is there, Cadabona and Pitzel. Arego is on the front, but the pace is really, really steady here. I think you're going to get your explosive sprint, Matt.
Right. Yep. That's my guess at the moment. Let's see who's going to go. We've already got to push off the front. Well, Peter Cridland, who's been active all race, goes early. He goes hard. It's a long way around this left-hand turn to get there, but he's got the gap. And at the moment, Martin Newman and Riley Milostic are chasing. You can see Llewellyn, Fosseed and Arego on the left of your screen, but they are chasing Peter Cridland, who is up the road. Fosseed in the yellow jersey is coming hard in second place. Will he close Cridland down? It's all going to be about momentum, and Fosseed has it. He goes over the top. Marius Fosseed, he won sprint stage number 1. He's absolutely dialing it. 2 in a row for Fosseed. He goes over the line. He punches the air in delight. What a ride by Fosseed, taking top spot behind youngster Riley Milostic, flying through the line. It was Fosseed from Milostic, from Cridland, from Fabra, Escobar in 4th place, Arego, Escobar in 5th place, Arego in 6th, Cadabona in 7th, Patzel in 8th, Corver in 9th and Llewellyn in 10th. But Fossied, 2 out of 2, extends his lead at the top of the standings.
It does indeed, and it is really, really interesting to see that Category 6 race roll out and play. Well, we shall have to see how that plays out when the racing is all verified later. But, well, it is going to be exciting and great to see when everything to Marius Fossey doing the business just as he did yesterday in Category 6, and that is winning a sprint. Well, Category 5 are the next riders coming towards the finish line. They are 2,000 metres away, and it's a great-sized group as well here. 37 riders last time we took account in Category 5. Tong, Reinheimer, Agadello, Friedeck, Neville, Ross, McTari, Lenador, all in here. The yellow jersey is in here too. You can just see him right in the middle of the pack there. Hertz is in there. Cirillo is the rider in the yellow jersey, just in case we've forgotten, because there are, of course, 6 races underway at the moment. 6 yellow jerseys out there, the leader of each of those races. Joel Warren in the white jersey and the green skin suit, the young rider leading that young rider competition and the sprint competition at the moment. He's in the pack as well. Nicholas Hagland is here. Is it going to be the sprinter? Is it going to be Warren who can go up and over the top? He took 3rd place yesterday, but Cirillo and Hertz, those 2 were ahead.
Mohammed Mukhtari in this group, along with Hagland in here. He cannot be discounted, but there's some big sprinters now. Is it going to be 2 out of 2 for yesterday's stage winner, Clinton Cirillo, the man who took a top spot? Warren is holding 2nd position. I suggest that's maybe a little bit further forward than he would want to be at this stage. Steinholm is winding a little round this turn, but not enough to lead this out. Warren, I think, just looking to go back a little bit, then pick the pace up. Maybe a slight misjudgment. We do have a way to go yet. We're going to go around this right-hand sweeping bend and into the left. Neville Ross on the front, pushing away, trying to get this group, get clear of the group as they come round the turn. That yellow helmet on his head at the moment. Warren now at 8 watts per kilo starts to make the move up onto the wheels of Neville Ross. Coming in onto the right-hand bend here, Neville Ross leading this out. Will he be able to stay clear? Well, it's going to be a big ask, as behind him comes the yellow jersey himself. Clinton Cirillo is leading the charge behind. He doesn't want to lose that yellow jersey. He will want to take the stage. He drops down, though, to 5 watts a kilo. Is he shot? Is he blown? Look at this. Hertz has gone over the top, and Neville Ross is going to come into this left-hand turn in the lead. The banner is coming, but so is Hertz. Hertz is onto the wheel here of Neville Ross. He comes on the right-hand side over the top. Goes Julian Hertz. Hertz's day today here on the sprint run, here on the 7 Gems in Arabia in Category 5. It was a frantic run into the line there. Hertz goes over the line in 1st place. Neville Ross in 2nd. Reinheimer in 3rd. Mounty in 4th. Kendall in 5th. Nielsen in 6th. Selima in 7th, with Cirillo in 8th. And Smithson in 9th. Friedeck in 10th.
Well, I can tell you, I think Clinton Cirillo has just lost the yellow jersey to Julian Hertz. Yesterday, it was Cirillo in 1 with a 2-second gap back to Hertz. It's a 2.9-second gap between Hertz and Cirillo today. Wow.
All change, all those positions to be confirmed. Remember, you're relying on Emma's maths, better than mine. My maths, terrible. And, of course, lots of provisional results at the moment that have still to be verified. But it's looking like there's a change in Category 5, where we, as in Category 6, we saw 2 out of 2 for our winner in that category. Categories 4, 3, 2, and 1 still to make the way into our race finish. Category 4, the nearest to the line at 61.1k. Category 3, they're at 53.8. 8 kilometres covered so far. And in category 3, Morgan was up the road by a margin last time we saw. Just taking a little bit of a look, John Brune at the moment is off the front of this group. And just taking a little bit of a check, Morgan is back into this group. So confirmed back in. Morgan in with the main group. John Brune now on the attack. Cadeel Davis and Karlstrom, the riders nearest to Brune. And I think it's going to be Karlstrom who's trying to push across to John Brune on the left of your screen. Category 4 on the right-hand side, nearest to that race finish. Well, at the moment, one big group of riders, one huge group of riders. Meanwhile, category 2, Mr. X100 is off the front of the group again. No surprises to see the UAE clan team aggressive attacking. Behind him, Mohamed Al Kaser leading the charge behind. Mohamed